What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing them the bacon. MLB DFS video for Friday, May 10th. We are back with the weekend. We're very excited. If you've never been to the channel, you're in for a treat. Yes, you've already seen the length of this video, but it is different from the other DFS providers because we go through everything. We look at all the pitchers on the slate. We look at all the games. We look at all the bats. At the end of this video, we give the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. So I currently have 10,000 simulations running in the background. Once those are completed, we will give you the top 20 bats there. We also have giveaways every single day. 2 ways to win. Like the video, be a subscriber, and leaving a comment, such as a home run pick. So if you tell me who's going to hit a home run and what inning they're going to hit it in, and you get it both correct, take a screenshot of that comment on this video and email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will get you set up for a free week. Leaving a comment on the video is how you enter the second way as well. So any video that gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. That includes a week of MLB, a week of NASCAR, a week of PGA, and MMA is coming back. So that's 1 week for 50 likes. The video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance to win a free month. 150 likes, a chance to win a $200 free year. And if the video gets 200 or more likes, you have a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass. And you can win every single day up until you win a lifetime pass. Just the past 2 videos, if you've watched them, it's been the same exact winner. And it is randomized. That's what's awesome about it. So all you have to do is leave a comment and a like to get those likes up, and you could win back-to-back days. Now, can this same person win the 3rd day in a row? You guys probably think it's, you guys will think it is rigged if he wins 3rd day in a row, but we're going to see. So what we've done is we've taken yesterday's video, we've plugged the URL into the commentpicker.com. It takes all of the comments and it randomizes it, and we will see who the winner. So let's check out the winner from yesterday's video. John Montgomery, 8127, with the comment, "This is my 2nd season of MLB DFS, and I love the details you give going over everything. I don't use any optimizers or builders. I just hand build." That is awesome. Now, that is what we're trying to make you do. Or not make you do, but that's what we're trying to do, is make you a better DFS player. So we go through everything in the video. We're going to break it down. And if you can be like John, that's awesome. If you guys do need a little bit more help, in the description of this video is today's article, which you can find right here. The handful of pitchers we like and the handful of plays at each position. Also in the description is the link to our Discord. And we go back and forth there. We give core plays there. We give advice if people want, if they want to look over lineups, if they have prop bets, people helping people. If you need a little bit more help on top of everything, we do have a partner in DFS Hero. The link is in the description. If you click on that link and you sign up, you go through the free trial and you get the month pass from them. Let us know your username and we will set you up with a free month of FTA Plus on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. If you sign up and you get their yearly pass, we will give you a free year on top of that. So you can use our information, our projections, our simulations, and throw them in the optimizer to make the best lineups possible for you. So we had a great Wednesday night. Thursday slate was so-so. I didn't really like it anyway. Was winning a ton of money until Keaton Wynn gave up 7 runs in the 4th inning or whenever it is. I went from first place to not first place. So yeah, we are going to dig in. We're going to look at it. We do have a few games early. We got Astros, Tigers early. Framber Valdez versus Casey Mize. Valdez just depends. The Astros, the offense just has looked bad. Career-wise against Detroit, 92 plate appearances, 231 batting average, 25K percentage. Casey Mize, on the other hand, 23 plate appearances, 176 batting average, 8.7K. So the K percentage is down, but the way the Astros have been playing, I honestly don't mind Casey Mize. I think Framber Valdez is a great option as well. And a small slate, it's very hard to go off of there. But a 3-game small slate, that's kind of what we've got. I don't mind either of these pitchers. At this point, 3 games, anything happens. You're only playing tournaments, really. That's kind of my thought. If you're looking at bats in this one, Jose Altuve, I mean, if we're looking at Astros bats who really haven't done much, Jeremy Pena up there, Kyle Tucker was on fire for the Yankees series. Jordan is, I don't know what's wrong with Jordan right now. But you could obviously look at him. Something's going to click unless he's hurt. Jose Altuve is another one I would look at. Flip side, the Tigers bats. If we're trying to find some bats against Framber Valdez, it's Torkelson against the lefty, I don't mind. Carson Kelly, if he's in there, I don't mind. Riley Green, I'm okay with. Usually, and if you guys have been with us before, you know that I love taking Mark Canha against the lefty 9 times out of 10. Love that for Mark Canha. There's not like a ton that jump out on top of that right now. So I will promise you I'm probably not playing any of this slate for DFS. If I do anything with this slate, it's sports betting. So I'll probably sports bet with this, but that's basically it. Also, I have been in I'm looking for someone, if you know anyone that can make YouTube intro and outro, like a very short 20-second intro and outro for all the sports, so I can put these videos and help you out. So if you know anyone, hit me up or let them know. Have them email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. So the second game, I've been waiting. We still don't know who the pitchers are. As of the making of the video, it is not there. So this will be updated. Obviously, we're not going to be able to go through it, but what we'll do is if any of them make sense, then we'll put it in the description. But once it's updated and everything, all the projections will be updated with it. The simulations will be updated with it as well. So can't go anything over there right now. And then we've got the Yankees at Tampa Bay to round out this early slate. Clark Schmidt versus Taj Bradley. Clark Schmidt has looked decent his last few starts. Again, he's getting trouble getting into the 6th inning and beyond. But the first 5 innings have been pretty good for him. Overall, against the Tampa Bay Rays, 70 plate appearances, 323. The Rays have not been playing good baseball. The Yankees are just clicking on all cylinders right now. Pitching, batting, it doesn't matter. If Schmidt could go 6 innings, we're probably looking at 5 innings out of him. But if he could reach up there and get 6 out of him, 3 runs or less, 5 or more strikeouts, would be a fantastic game. Taj Bradley, on the other hand, 6 plate appearances against this Yankees team, 1,000 batting average. So he hasn't seen much. The Yankees have been hitting. I would be all in on the Yankees bats here. Judge has been on fire. Stanton's been on fire. Rizzo, Volpe, Verdugo, Oswaldo Cabrera, Austin Wells, Trevino, whoever's in there for the lineup. Pretty much 1 through 9, I do not mind stacking there, except for Glaber. Glaber has just looked bad. I mean, he's got to come out of this funk at some point, you would think. But, yeah, we're a month plus into the season, and he is not doing so well. So Glaber's honestly the only bat that I probably wouldn't focus on. But you never know. You never know what could happen with, I don't love Tropicana Field. It is a trash field, but we've got success. We've got a Yankees team that is hitting on all cylinders. For an early slate, I think they're probably the number 1 stack out of everything in here. So now we move on to the main slate. We can look at it. We can enjoy it. The main slate starts with the Diamondbacks at the Orioles. We've got Brandon Pfaadt versus Cole Irvin. Pfaadt's never faced them before, and Irvin, 34 plate appearances, a 353. So not the best. And if you look at that, it's like, oh, those numbers are skewed. But let's see if it's like 1 or 2 players. It's not. It's actually really split out. Gurriel Jr., 3 for 10 with a triple and a home run. You got Eugenio Suarez, 2 for 5 with 2 home runs. You got Christian Walker, 2 for 3 with 1 home run. You got Corbin Carroll's 1 for 3, and he's kind of coming on strong here. So honestly, I don't think I like Cole Irvin very much. But we can look at this. We've got Cole Irvin here at 7,300. Game log wise, he's actually had pretty decent starts. A really good start against Cincy, a great start against Oakland, pretty good against Kansas City, not so good against Minnesota and Boston, and then Kansas City. So he's been strong lately, and if you're just going off of this, it probably wouldn't look at it. But if we look at this, I don't mind him. Tournaments probably, because Arizona has hit him, but he's really come on strong, and he's only 7,300. So I could see you making a case to use him there. And then Brandon Pfaadt at 7,700. We look at his game logs, not the best against San Diego. It's been up and down for him. So bad game against San Diego, good game against Seattle. Bad game against St. Louis, good game against Chicago. Bad game against St. Louis again. Ish game against Atlanta, good game against Colorado. So if he were to follow this pattern, this should be a good start for him. Tournament-wise, I don't mind, but he does carry a 4.61 ERA, 1-2 record. He's got 42 strikeouts, though. But on the road, a little worse ERA, 4.77. So he's been bad overall, not the best. But we would look at... I think both of these pitchers are tournament options. I don't think they are cash options, at least in my mind. And then we can look at the bats. So looking at them, if you are taking Arizona bats, I would be looking right around Christian Walker, who hits lefties well. Gabriel Moreno hits lefties well. Ketel Marte, switch hitter at the top of this lineup. Eugenio Suarez has been so-so this year, but he's had success against Cole Irvin. So that is just a spot that we could look at there. Now, if you don't think Brandon Pfaadt's going to do anything and you want to look at Orioles bats, obviously Gunnar Henderson at the top, Jordan Westberg, Mountcastle, O'Hearn, Adley Rutschman are the ones I'd look at. I know a couple of our subscribers were really banking on Orioles on Wednesday night to help out their lineup, and they did nothing to help us. They even went into extra innings and couldn't even do it. But those would be one. Jorge Mateo might be in there. If he is in there, I don't mind him. I just don't know if he's going to be in this lineup. So definitely take a look. Probably off of Santander. Mullins. It's wild that Mullins has dropped down to 9th. I remember he used to be leadoff. Now he's batting 9th for Baltimore. It's just how good they've become out of nowhere. So those are probably the ones that I would use in this game. Twins at the Blue Jays, you got Joe Ryan versus Yusei Kikuchi. Ryan, we've used both of these pitchers almost every single time they've come up this year. Ryan, 26 plate appearances, 308 batting average. You got Kikuchi, 84 plate appearances, a 260 batting average. Bring it into here. Ryan is third most expensive, 10,100. Carries a 376 ERA, 1-2 record, 46 strikeouts into this game. Splits-wise, pitching on the road, he has actually been way better on the road than he has at home. And we look at game logs, couple of stinkers. Like, to be honest with you, he has not hit value in 3 of the last 5 games. Actually, he's only hit value basically in 2 starts this year. So what value we're looking for is usually for pitchers 2.5 to 3 times their salary. So 10,100, you kind of want to look at 26, the 26 to 32 range to hit that value. He has not. He has been better like on the road. I don't know if I can trust him enough in cash. Tournaments I'm okay with because Blue Jays are so-so with their offense. That's the thing that I don't think I trust him in cash enough, especially at that price. Then we can look at flip side of that. Kikuchi. He's right below him at 9,600, 2.72 ERA, so he's got a better, basically right around the same strikeouts. He's coming off a great game against Washington, which we used. Did not have a good start against the Dodgers, but those are the Dodgers. He comes into this game pitching at home, 3 games, 3 ERA. I don't mind him. Honestly, if you want to have some savings, I'd rather take Kikuchi. To be quite honest, at the moment, none of these bats jump out to me. Minnesota bats would be Kirilloff, Carlos Santana. We can just take a look real quick, I guess. You could look at Santana, Kirilloff, Carlos Correa, maybe a little bit of Manny Margot, who usually hits lefties well. Ryan Jeffers, I think Ryan Jeffers had a home run Thursday. Flip side of that, if you think Joe Ryan's not going to have a good game, you think the Toronto bats are, Vlad, I would look at Justin Turner, George Springer, Dalton Varsho. These are ones I would for sure look at value-wise. Alejandro Kirk at catcher today. Ernie Clement, IKF, Kevin Biggio. You could look at these guys. I don't know how much exposure I'll have to this game, though. We'll kind of just have to see what all the Vegas numbers look like and what the weather looks like a little bit later on down the road. So we'll update the weather normally by lunchtime. As long as there's not like noon games, we update the weather just to kind of see if anything has changed, if the wind's blowing out, if it's in, and give it some hitting and pitching ratings as well. So my thought on this is I'm probably leaning more towards Kikuchi and none of the bats at the moment. Nationals at the Red Sox, Patrick Corbin versus Tanner Houck. Houck has been, obviously, Patrick Corbin's actually been, if we look at his numbers, he's still down here at 6,200, got a 6.45 ERA, so it's lower than what we're used to, but he really hasn't done much. I mean, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs. He's given up 10 runs in his last 2 games. Did okay against the Dodgers, but there's just no way I'm taking Patrick Corbin in this ballpark. I would look at Tanner Houck, and I would look at Boston bats. I would look at Tyler O'Neill at the top of this lineup. I don't think that's a surprise. I would look at Rafael Devers. I would look at Jarren Duran, Connor Wong, or Reese McGuire, depending on which catcher is in there today. Garrett Cooper, if he's in there, normally hits lefties well. You could look at him. So there's a lot of different ways to go about this, but if I'm looking at this, I'm probably looking at a Boston stack. If you are looking at Washington bats because you need some cheaper bats, or you want to be contrarian against Houck, Luis Garcia, Jesse Winker, CJ Abrams, Joey Meneses, Trey Lipscomb, Kybert Ruiz, these would be the ones that I'd look at. Probably go more towards Boston bats and Tanner Houck, but I could see you wanting to be contrarian. If you make multiple lineups, go with a Washington stack there. Braves at the Mets. This is a pitcher's park, so that's a plus. Charlie Morton against them, 275 plate appearances. Obviously has seen them a ton. 253 batting average, 26.2. Then you got Quintana, 179 plate appearances, 270 batting average. The Braves mash lefties. That should not be a surprise to you. I would not be looking much at Quintana. If we look at him, he brings a 5.20 ERA in here. Splits-wise, he's already faced Atlanta once this year. Gave up 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, 5 ERA, and only 13.8 fantasy points. And that game came in Atlanta back on April 11th. And then Charlie Morton, on the other hand, I'm guessing he has faced him once this year. Yep, 5.2 innings, 4 earned runs, 4 Ks, 6.35 ERA. I would be looking at bats in this one. I'm probably not focused on either of these pitchers for sure, but the Braves bats that generally hit lefties well. That consists of Marcell Ozuna. You can see he's got a bunch of dark red there. Ronald Acuna Jr., he's going to hit his stride. I don't know what's going on with his home runs, but he's getting on base. He's hitting lefties. He's stealing bases. Austin Riley. Travis d'Arnaud. Every time Travis d'Arnaud faces a lefty, I got to get him in that lineup. So if we just look at catchers, you come through here. D'Arnaud's not even on the top of this list. You have to scroll down here to 4,200. d'Arnaud would be a cheaper option in this Braves stack, and he absolutely mashes lefties. He had a 3 home run game that one night we suggested him against a lefty. So hopefully you took that advice. So looking at that, I am facing the Braves as a big stack. And then since Morton has not fared well against them this year, the bats I would use would be Brandon Nimmo, Starlin Marte, DJ Stewart, Lindor, maybe Jeff McNeil, maybe Pete Alonso. So I don't know if I'll have much exposure to the Mets, but if I do have any of their bats, for sure Nimmo, Lindor, and DJ Stewart would be the 3 that I would look at. But I'm mainly focused on the Braves as a stack, and I don't think I want pitching in here. It is a pitcher's park, though, so for tournaments, I'm okay with a Charlie Morton here. Phillies at the Marlins, you got Ranger Suarez versus Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers has fallen off. We've seen this. Suarez, 75 plate appearances, 200 batting average. That's kind of what we're expecting, and he's going up against a Marlins team that definitely going to be sellers this year. They've already started to be sellers. Trevor Rogers, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if it's in his head. I honestly don't know. Trevor Rogers is down here at 6,900. Comes in with a 6.15 ERA, 0-5 record, only 28 strikeouts in 7 starts. He has 28. That's an average of 4 a game. He had one against Oakland. That's where he got absolutely murdered by Oakland. 8 earned runs in 2.1 innings, 78 pitches, minus 15.4. I'm looking at Philly bats here. I don't want anything to do with Trevor Rogers. I'm looking at Philly bats, and I'll look at Ranger Suarez a little bit. So Ranger Suarez is actually God, his price is up there. 172 ERA, 46 strikeouts, a 6-0 record. That sucks that his price is there. But, I mean, he's been very good. He's even better on the road. So, yeah, Ranger Suarez and the Philly bats. The Philly bats that I would even look at. Honestly, Kyle Schwarber is boomer bust for me. But Brandon Marsh I would look at. I would look at Alec Boehm, who's killing it right now. Might be the best third baseman offensively this year. If there's another one, let me know that I'm not thinking of. Off the top, JT Realmuto against his former team. If you want to do revenge factor against the lefty, all of that makes sense. Nick Castellanos has looked bad, but maybe he brings it on here. We will see. If you want to go against the grain, you want to look at Miami bats against Ranger Suarez, I wouldn't blame you. Jesus Sanchez will be one against a lefty. Josh Bell, switch hitter against a lefty. Brian De La Cruz. Maybe a little bit of Jazz. Maybe Jake Burger since he is back. Get that Burger King whop in there. So that's kind of what I would look at. I'd rather look at Philly bats here against Trevor Rogers, but we could also see this being just a massive amount of runs scored here. So we could look at those, just depending. I personally am probably looking more towards Philly and looking more towards Ranger Suarez, but I could see you making a case for both. Next game, Guardians at the White Sox. Carlos Carrasco versus Garrett Crochet. Usually you like to take a pitcher against the White Sox. Is it going to be Cookie, though? We can look at these. We shall see here. Looking at this, we've got, where's he at? Carrasco. All the way down here at 6,300. Comes in with a 5.67 ERA, going, 4 to 6 innings a game. Didn't do too bad here against LA. Did not do good against Houston. Boston. Did well against Boston. Did not do good against the Yankees. So we look at this one. Tournament-wise, I'm okay with this. I don't think I'll have much exposure. But at 6,300, SP2 on DraftKings, you could do worse. Problem is the strikeouts are kind of low. He's only got 26 total strikeouts. So we kind of look at those strikeouts, and tournaments, because if he was 7,000 or more, I would say absolutely not. I would say no. And then Crochet here, we look at hit 8,100 here. Game log, really good game against St. Louis. 19.5, not much. Overall, Garrett's really not faced 14 batters. 14 plate appearances, 100 batting average, 0 K, 14.3. We look at this. Pitching at home, he's actually been better. I could see I could see a lot of people being off of him. This could be a sneaky option. GPP only, tournament only, not cash. 8,100. You could maybe even throw in Crochet, and you could look at Carrasco if you think it's going to be a low-scoring game and go that way. Honestly, I don't know what I'll do in this game. I don't think I'll have much exposure. We do look at the bats. If we look at Cleveland, J-Ram, Jose Ramirez here against a lefty. He's a switch hitter. I don't mind him. Josh Naylor, I don't mind. Gabriel, we can kind of look at Gabriel Arias. We could look at a little bit of Andres Jimenez, maybe. That's probably, maybe Will Brennan. But honestly, I might just have these pitchers. None of the bats actually jump out to me that would make me want to use them right now. So maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe when the simulations are done, we'll look at them and we'll see if those bats make sense. Cardinals at the Brewers. So this is one where it's not currently being shown, but They're calling up Robert Gasser here to face the Cardinals. They have to do a 6 rotation. So, yeah. 5.25 ERA in AAA. That's only in 12 innings in AAA since returning. Maybe right after this game. So he is making his debut. He did have a elbow problem. I'm probably looking more so at the Cardinals bats here. I just don't trust him. Again, though, it's always an option to throw him in there because he is 5,000. He is the low-priced dude on the totem pole. St. Louis isn't the best offensive team, and you could do a lot with this, with putting him in there for 5,000. So I'm okay with someone who they've never seen him before, throwing him in, especially at 5,000. I'm only throwing him in there because he is 5,000. If he was less, I wouldn't even think about it. And then St. Louis, it looks like it's going to be Lance Lynn, who thought was going to be pitched the Thursday. Did not. They pushed it back or whatever happened. Maybe the rain was a concern. 3.28 ERA, not a good start against the White Sox. Coming in here against Milwaukee, has not actually faced them this year. Looking at this, he's pitching on the road, where he actually is way better on the road. 1.13 ERA compared to a 5 on the at home. I don't mind him. He's 8,700, but I don't know if I'll have exposure to him. I think the only one I want to look at would be Gasser, just because he's minimum priced here. That's the only reason I'm even considering him. So bats-wise, if you think with Gasser's 5+ ERA in AAA, you think that's going to go St. Louis bats, I would look at Nootbaar. I would look at Burleson. I would look at Brendan Donovan. I would look at Nolan Gorman here for sure. Cheaper ones, Brandon Crawford, Ivan Herrera would be, Jose Furman, but I don't know if I'll use Jose Furman. Now, if you think Lance Lynn's going to blow up, and not physically, but I mean on the mound, pitching-wise, not physically on the mound, William Contreras is one of the best catchers in all of baseball right now. I would look at him. Christian Yelich I would look at. I would look at a little bit of cheap of Jake Bauers possibly. Rhys Hoskins. Willie Adames would be one. You want to go even cheaper with some of these bats. Oliver Dunn, Bryce Turang, and Joey Ortiz would be other Brewers bats that I would dig into. If you don't think they're making sense here to take Lynn. I think you do want to take Gasser just due to his price of 5,000. And then we get to the Rangers at the Rockies. It looks like it's going to be John Gray. I don't know why it's not updated here. And this maybe changes, so we'll see. John Gray, he last pitched Sunday, so this would be his start. He's pitched really good lately. So we've looked at this. He's pitched well the past 2 games, middle of the pack here, these 2 games here. Good game against Detroit. The problem is he's going into Colorado. Now, he has not been into Colorado this year. He's pitched 2 starts on the road with a 1.84 ERA. I am scared to use him against Colorado. I just do not trust him a ton. In cash tournaments, I'm okay with. Brings a 2.50 ERA into this game, 42 strikeouts. Colorado, outside of what they did yesterday to Keaton win, their offense is blah. Hopefully, that's kind of what we look at here. But John Gray for tournaments, I'm okay with. But I would rather take the Texas bats here against Austin Gomber. I do not trust Austin Gomber at all. We've got him down here, 5,300, second lowest priced dude, 3.79 ERA. So he did start off kind of bad his first start. It's been okay in some of these starts, but none that jump out to me. So I would definitely be taking Texas bats here. The Marcus Semien, Corey Seager. Let's just bring it up on the screen so you guys can see it. I know there are some people that listen to this in the car, and some people watch these videos intently, but Adolis Garcia against a lefty. Love Jonah Heim here in this ballpark is what I would look at. Marcus Semien, Corey Seager. I would look at Robbie Grossman, just got traded back. While he's not like a sexy option, you could definitely look at him for a cheap option. Let's see if he's even on their 3,100. Yep, in Colorado. I don't know if he'll start. Did just win the World Series with them last year and then went to the White Sox, I believe. But yeah, they got traded. So yeah, he would be a sneaky under-owned guy probably. I could look at. Evan Carter might be another one I would look at. So I love me a Texas stack here. I am not looking for Rocky bats. I am not looking for either pitcher in cash. I would lean a little bit more towards John Gray in tournaments. Next game, Royals at the Angels. Alec Marsh versus Griffin Canning. Marsh has never faced the Angels before. Canning, 25 plate appearances, a .318 batting average against him. So we look at Alec Marsh. I'm pretty sure he's coming off the IL, right? Yeah, coming off the IL. Had one AAA start, 4 shutout innings, 53 pitches. That's kind of what I thought. Splits-wise has not faced the Angels at all, like we said. Game-wise, he is took the minimum, was on the IL for the minimum. He had a good game against Baltimore, but rather than that, like, okay, 2 good games against Baltimore, but did not do well against the White Sox, did not do well against the Mets, did not do well against Toronto. Tournaments, I'm okay with him at 7,000. I'm not trusting him in cash. And we kind of just look at that, and that's probably what I'm going with. Marsh for tournaments. Griffin Canning has not had success. If I were to look at bats for them, I would look at Bobby Witt Jr., obviously. I would be looking at Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino. You could do a little bit of Nelson Velasquez, Michael Garcia. I don't mind them. I just do not trust the Angels enough. Alec Marsh has been decent in a couple of starts. If you were to go Angels bats because you don't think Alec Marsh has what it takes in this game, which that's your prerogative, that's completely, I understand. I would be looking at, well, if it goes, let's see. Taylor Ward's the dude on this team right now. Joe Adell would be another one I would look at. Logan O'Hoppe is one. You want to slum it a little bit with Willie Calhoun or Kevin Pillar. Nolan Schanuel, I don't mind. Mickey Moniak maybe a little bit too. Again, you got to get creative on a big slate like this at night. You want to take down a lot of money. You got to find those hidden gems, and the Angels could be a sneaky one. Now, I'm not saying I'll have much exposure, but I don't know if I trust Alec Marsh enough. He's had a couple of good starts, but then rest of them really haven't been good enough to want to pay for him at all. Move to the next game. You got Glasnow versus Michael King. Love me some Tyler Glasnow today. He's already faced them. I think this will be the 3rd time he's faced him. No, he's only faced him once. 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 Ks. The Ks were low there, but again, you can see he's already got 63 Ks on the year. Had 3 fantastic starts. One against a very good Braves team that he held to 2 earned runs and 10 Ks. He's had multiple double-digit strikeout games this year already. Love me some Glasnow. He is very expensive. This is very, very true. Very expensive. But I'd rather pay $10,900 than I would $10,100 for Joe Ryan. So we look at that, and that's kind of what I see. And then Michael King, where's he at? 4.29 ERA. He's already faced the Dodgers twice this year. 1 was a start. 10 runs, 7 earned runs, 5 walks, 9 Ks, 7.56 ERA against them. I would be looking at the Dodgers bats. I would be looking at Teoscar Hernandez. Obviously, Mookie Betts is in your lineup. Shohei Ohtani is another big name. It's very hard to get all of these guys in there. That's the problem. Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Andy Pajes you could look at. These are all ones you could look at. I don't know if I trust much else. And we look at that. I don't know if I trust Gavin Lux enough. Maybe a little bit of James Outman, not 100%. So we kind of look at this. I do not think I want any Michael King. I do not think I want any of the the Padres bats. I'd rather look at Glasnow and a Dodgers stack. And I think that's going to be a pretty popular stack anyway today. Then you got the Athletics at the Mariners. In Seattle, you got Paul Blackburn versus to be announced, but it's actually going to be Brian Wu coming off the IL, making his first start of the year. I don't mind Brian Wu. I don't know if he's going to be on a pitch count. Let's see. Yeah, so he's been good in AAA. He was good last year. He's 8,000 this year. He's got a great matchup against Oakland. I do not mind Bryan Woo here at all. I think people are going to be off him, especially people that are new to DFS this year, haven't played him before. Maybe they don't know who he is and they don't want to go with that. So in my thought process, I'm looking at Bryan Woo. I don't mind Paul Blackburn. I think he's more of a tournament option, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. None of the bats really jump out to me right now. So unless the bats here jump out, I'm probably just sticking with pitching. I think Blackburn's a tournament option. I think Bryan Woo is cash or tournament today. And I probably won't be focused much on the bats. And then the final game, the Reds at the Giants. You got Andrew Abbott versus Logan Webb. This is being played in San Francisco, which is a massive park. And it is a plus to all pitchers that come in here. Abbott, 17 plate appearances, 200 batting average. Now, the Giants just put Jorge Soler on the IL, which is a huge righty bat that normally mashes lefties. So that's a big bat out of this lineup. Then you got Logan Webb, 51 plate appearances against this Reds team in his career, 191 batting average, 27.5 K percentage. So he's had great numbers against them, a pretty good history against them. We look at this, he is 8,500, so he's not a bad price. Splits-wise, home games, he's got a .82 ERA in 3 starts, a 21.8 fantasy points average. You can see at home, .82, on the road, 5.92. So a massive difference in basically the same amount of innings pitched. He's given up 16 earned runs on the road and only 2 at home. He's a stud at home. Cincy is a great team, but this is a massive ballpark. Even if they put Lumber on the ball, there's a lot of places for the outfielders to catch this ball in this ballpark. So I would look at Logan Webb for sure. Cash or tournament, I don't mind. If you don't want to pay up, saving a ton of money from Glasnow to Logan Webb, I don't mind that either. You could get Logan Webb and maybe Robert Gasser or Logan Webb and a lower priced guy and make a good, decent lineup using both of those. And then we got Andrew Abbott. He's 6,700. He comes in with a 3.32 ERA, so it's a very respectable ERA. 35 strikeouts, 1-4 record, 116 whip. Game logs, he's actually had some pretty damn good ones here. Splits-wise, on the road, he is worse on the road, just a little bit. This is a massive ballpark. I honestly do not mind him at 6,700. I'm probably not looking at bats in this game. I'm probably looking at both pitchers. I think Abbott is a tournament. It could be an SP1 or 2 on DraftKings. I think Logan Webb is both. He's an SP1 or FanDuel as well. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. We can see all of these. I do not mind both of these pitchers. I'm not really focused on the bats right now. So I'm probably off of the bats in this game. As of now, I would focus on both of those pitchers. And there you have it. That's the breakdown of all of the games, pitchers and batters that are on the current slate. Now let's check out the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. These can and will change by the time you probably watch this video, but I wanted to bring this to you as quickly as I possibly could. So, coming up here, number 1, Mookie Betts against Michael King. Number 2 is Shohei against King. 3 is Ronald Acuna Jr. against Quintana. Number 4 is Rafael Devers versus Patrick Corbin. Number 5 is Aaron Judge versus Taj Bradley. 6 is Bryce Harper versus Trevor Rogers. 7, Riley Green. 8, Bobby Witt Jr. 9, Matt Olson. 10, Juan Soto. 11, Austin Riley. 12, Ozzie Albies. 13, Isaac Paredes. 14, Alec Boehm. 15, Robbie Grossman. So, like I said, I love that matchup for him. He's a cheap option. Next is Max Muncy versus Michael King. Kyle Schwarber versus Trevor Rogers. Jarren Duran versus Patrick Corbin. Tyler O'Neill versus Patrick Corbin. Jose Altuve versus Casey Mize. And finally, Anthony Volpe versus Taj Bradley. So if we look at these numbers, and we take a look and we see the bats, we see the stacks. Obviously, love a Boston stack against Patrick Corbin. I love a Yankee stack against Taj Bradley. A Dodger stack is a very expensive stack, but a stack against Michael King, I do not mind. And a Philly stack against Trevor Rogers is the way to go today on this slate. Now, if you found this video helpful, if you're still here 40 minutes in, thank you so much. Spend a lot of time on these videos. Hopefully, it helps you bring home the bacon. If it did, let us know. Either here, you can email me, you can hit us up on Discord, on Twitter. It doesn't matter. We are here for you. So if you've got questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. Good luck on this slate. Let's have a great Friday, and let's bring home some bacon. Peace.